We are going to solve this quadratic equation by factoring. And so to factor this quadratic, we multiply the a by c, which is 2 times -5, which equals -10. So we are looking for two numbers that multiply to -10 and add to the b term, which is +9. And so two numbers that multiply to -10 but add to +9. If we list the factors of just 10, we could have 1 and 10, 2 and 5. And the only combination that could possibly get us a 9 is the 1 and 10. And so because we want to multiply to -10, we need one of these numbers to be negative, and we are going to choose the 1 to be negative in order to still add to this +9. Once you have those two numbers that multiply to the product of a times c but add to the middle term b, we split the middle term with those numbers. So instead of plus 9x, we're now going to write -1x plus 10x. If we were to put those two terms back together, they would give us that positive 9x. And then we bring down the rest of the quadratic, so bring down the 2x squared, bring down the constant, which is -5. And so we split this trinomial into 4 different terms, so we can split it down the middle and factor by grouping. And so looking at the first two, we are looking for something we can factor out of the 2x squared and the -1x. And the only thing we can factor out is an x. Factoring out x leaves 2x minus 1. If I were to redistribute that x, I would have the 2x squared minus 1x once again. We are going to do the same thing with the 10x and the -5. This sign is going to be the same sign you write here. If it was a minus, I would have written a minus. Because it's a plus, I'm going to go ahead and write the plus. And then a common factor we can pull out of 10x and -5 would be the 5. And so if I divide 10x by 5, I would be left with 2x. If I divide -5 by 5, I'd get -1. And so you want to make sure the expression inside your parentheses is the same expression on both sides. If that is not the case, you did something wrong and you need to go back and find your mistake. Because they match, I know I am doing everything correctly, and that is one of my factors. The other factor comes from what is outside, so the x plus 5. And so those are our two factors for this quadratic expression. It's still set equal to 0. And so we need to keep it set equal to 0. Now this question says solve. And so we are not done. We have only factored. We are solving by factoring. And so we have factored. Now you set each factor equal to 0. So either 2x minus 1 equals 0 or the x plus 5 equals 0. Now we have two linear equations that we need to solve for x by isolating the x. So over here I would add 1 to each side and then divide by 2, leaving me with x equals 1/2. On the other side it's a one-step equation, so I have x equals -5 as my other solution. Anytime you are solving an equation, your goal is to get x equals, which is what we have right here. And so our two solutions are -5 and 1/2.